looking at for target 6B is 6D.4. I can find the value of composite figures by applying the correct volume formulas. Okay, so what a composite figure is, or sometimes you'll hear them called compound figures, is just something that's made up of two or more of our basic figures that we've looked at. So like looking at example 1, what is the approximate volume of the lunchbox shown below? If you look at the bottom of the lunchbox, let's use red. If I look at the bottom of it, we have, just our basic prism, right? It's a rectangular prism. Okay, it's two rectangles connected by a rectangle. So, I'm going to find the volume of the prism. And volume of a prism is length times width times height. Here I have 10 times 6 times 6, which is 360 inches, not squared, cubed. We are doing volume. 360 inches cubed. Okay. Now this one has a slight trick to the second part. Alright. It's this shape here. Well, if I were to continue this circle, alright, this would be a cylinder. So we are going to find the volume of a cylinder. That volume, once we find it though, right, this is only half of the cylinder. That bottom half has been cut off. So we're just going to have to divide it by 2 once we get the volume. So the volume equals pi r squared times the height, right? So pi. If you look here, my radius, that 3 is only half. Alright, or you could look along the length here, the diameter is 6, half of that is 3, times my height. Again, my height is what connects the circles, so a circle on this end and a circle on this end, and it's going to be the same as this down here, right? So sometimes you'll have to pull the number from the bottom or the top or wherever. So pi times 3 squared times 10. 3 squared is 9 times 10 is 90 pi. Now, again, I don't want the full cylinder, right? This isn't a full cylinder. So half the volume is going to equal 1/2 times 90 pi. Right, basically anything I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. I'm only taking half of that cylinder, so I get 45 pi inches cubed. Move this up just a little bit. Now the last thing I need to do is finding the total volume of the figure. The total volume of this figure, well, I have the prism, which is 360 inches, plus the 45 pi inches cubed from the half cylinder. I am adding them together because they're stacked on top of each other. Okay, the total volume is the volume of both of those things together. So I have 360 times 45, 40 pi times 45. I have to do in this calculator. Okay. I think I typed that in wrong. Blah. Clear everything. 360 plus 45, I think I put times pi. There we go, that looks better. So 360 plus 45 times pi. Again, if you're using the TI Inspire, the pi symbol is right next to the H. And so you can do the same thing. And we get 501.37. just rounding. I don't really care what, round to the nearest cubic inch. Sorry, it tells me that should be 501 inches cubed, the nearest inch. Unless it tells you, it doesn't really matter, but do read the directions for that. Okay. Again, I have to type pi into the calculator here because this one doesn't have a pi. Remember, when you're comparing something that doesn't have pi and does have pi, make sure you type pi into your calculator. All right, let's look at number 2. A cylindrical tube is removed from a prism. How much volume of the prism is left? Okay. So I'm going to start with the prism. Volume equals length times width times height. So I have 25 times 30. And then my height is given to me here. Remember, height always has to meet at a right angle. So times 25. 25 times 30 times 25 is 18,750. This is centimeters cubed. Then I'm going to find the volume of that cylinder. So volume equals pi r squared times height. Now, I'm not doing half the cylinder, right? This is a whole cylinder. Circle, circle with the 2 lines connecting that circle. Okay? Now, my diameter is given to me here, right? I can tell because it goes all the way down. So my radius equals 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Okay? So I have pi times 4 squared times my height. Now again, the height is the distance that connects the 2 circles. And if you're kind of always looking to what line is that parallel to, right? It's the same as this 30 centimeters. Okay, they kind of both go in the same direction. Those are the same unit. So times 30. So into my calculator, I'm going to do 4 squared. 4 squared times 30. And we get 480 pi. Centimeters cubed. Now I'm going to find my total volume. So I'm going to start with my prism. Now I'm removing the prism. Removing is subtraction. I'm taking it out. I'm taking away that cylinder. Okay, so I am subtracting 480 pi. So always when you're looking at these problems, think, okay, am I putting them together or am I taking one out of the other one? Okay. So 18,750 minus 480 times pi. And I get 17,242. This one tells me to round to the nearest, round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So 17,242.04. Centimeters cubed. All right, looking at our next problem. A well is to be, a cistern, which is just a well, is to be built out of cement. The walls and bottom will be 1 foot thick and painted with purple paint. The outer height will be 20 feet. The inner diameter is 10 feet. How much cement is needed for this job? Okay, so I'm going to start with my outer cylinder. All right, I have a cylinder taken out of a cylinder. So starting with the outer cylinder. All right, volume equals pi r squared times height. So the first thing I need to know is what the radius is. Well, I know this is to be 1 foot, and this is to be 1 foot. Everything's 1 foot thick. The outer height will be 20, so we can put that in if we'd like. And then the inner diameter is 10. So the whole diameter is 1 plus 10 is 11 plus 1 is 12 feet. So my radius is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Times my height, which is 20. Typing that into a calculator, I get 720 pi feet cubed. Okay. Now I want to do my inner cylinder. Volume equals pi r squared times height. Pi times, here my radius, right, we said it was 10. Right, so the diameter equals 10. So the radius equals 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Okay. Height is still 20. When I multiply all that together, I get 500 pi feet cubed. Okay. So again, looking at my total volume, I'm going to have 720 pi minus 500 pi. Now, I can look at this as just 720 minus 500, and I get 220 pi feet cubed. You could also type it in your calculator and do 720 times pi minus 500 times pi, and get 691.15 feet cubed. Either answer is fine. I would accept either of those. One's just with pi, because since they both have pi, right, I don't necessarily need to type pi in the calculator, and one's without pi. Okay, so again, either answer there is fine. All right, our last example, example 4. A storage bin is shaped as in the figure. The radius of the cylindrical top is 7 feet. The overall height of the bin is 26 feet. And the height of the conical section, so the cone, is 12 feet. Determine how much can be stored in the bin. Okay. So, the radius of the cylinder is 7 feet. Well, it's 7 feet here. If you look, that means it's also 7 feet here. The radius of the two circles is going to be the same. The overall height of the total bin is 26. The height of this cone is 12. Well, if the total height is 26, this is 12. Well, our height here plus 12 equals 26. Or, right, just 26 minus 12. 14, right? This height here is going to be 14. 14 plus 12 will give me that overall height of 26. So, volume of cylinder, we have volume equals pi r squared times height. Volume equals pi times 49 squared times our height is 14. Ooh, sorry. I'm doing things in my head. It's not 49 squared, it's 7 squared, which is 49. Sorry about that. So 7 squared times 14. We get 686 pi. for the cylinder. Then for the cone, the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared times height. 1/3 times pi times our radius is still 7 times 12. Again, I'm going to type that in my calculator. 1 divided by 3 for 1/3 times 7 squared times 12 equals 196 pi. Then for my total volume, again, I'm just combining these things. I have 686 pi plus 196 pi, right? These two things are sitting on top of each other. Okay, I'm not removing one from the other. So again, I can just add 686 and 196, and I get 882 pi feet cubed. Or, like I said, I can type in 686 times pi plus 196 times pi and get it without the pi, and I get 2,770.89 feet cubed. Alright, that is our last notes for KC6. Go ahead and work on the activity.